Okay, we're going to do some 2-color brioche knit flat. I've cast on 20 stitches, and this includes a stitch for the selvage. If you don't want the selvage, it's actually going to be an odd number cast on. With 2-color brioche, we're actually going to be working the right side twice and the wrong side twice. So you need to be using either double pointed needles or a cable needle so that you can slide your stitches. Okay, so I have, like I said, I have the 20 on the needle. I'm going to start the setup row. So the setup row, you're going to knit the first stitch, knit the second stitch, and then as in flat single color brioche, you're going to work the slip one with the yarn in front and knit. Slip one with the yarn in front and knit. You do that across. Slip one with yarn in front, knit, 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 slip one with yarn in front, and knit. So that is our setup row, and that is row 1 with color A, if you want to call it that. So this is the right side that we just completed, and we're going to actually continue to work a right side. So to continue working the right side, we're going to slide all the stitches to the other needle, or if you're working on DPNs, just slide it to the other side of the needle so that your working yarn is now on the left. We are now going to introduce the new color, and I'm realizing that I'm going to call this color combination 70s barf because it looks horrible, but I wanted the stitches to stand out. So here we've got this horrible brown and a horrible green. Alright, so we're going to start with horrible green, which we'll be calling color B. And with color B, like I said, we're working a right side twice. So with color A, we've got the right side. Now, the right side with the brown will be the side that has the knit stitch rows on it. For color B, the right side is actually the wrong side. So this is going to be the purl bump side with the green. So even though we're working a right side, it's going to be the opposite. So we're going to knit one, which is just the selvage. That's why we're always knitting the first one. Slip with yarn in front. And then instead of knitting together the two stitches as we have been, we're going to purl them together. Now with Continental, I again just do this shortcut where I just pinch the yarn because I could then just pull it in front and purl two together. I'll show you again. So that I slip with yarn in the front, and then I'm going to pinch it, and by pulling the yarn like that, it kind of makes my yarn over. Purl two together, slip, purl two together, I'll try to do English. So there is a yarn over in there. It's just I'm doing that trick where I don't have to actually do one if I hold a yarn. So okay, English I would be doing, again, sorry, horrible English knitter, slip one with the yarn in front, then because I want to purl two together but also get a yarn over in there, the yarn's already in front, but if I go directly to just purl, I'm not going to get that yarn over, so I need to wrap this and then purl. Okay, so you can see what you've got there. You got your yarn over with your stitch and your knit two together. So we're still creating the same kind of pattern as we were with the flat, but we're doing both sides. That's why there's a purl situation now. So we're slipping yarn over and purl two together. Slip with yarn in front, yarn over, purl two together, slip with yarn in front, yarn over, purl two together, and I'll try to do it English again. Okay, so yarn in front, I'm gonna slip, do yarn over, and I'm gonna purl these two together. Oh my goodness. Alright, so you've got the yarn over, knit stitch that slipped, and the purl two together. So slip one, yarn in front, yarn over, purl two together, and knit that last stitch. Okay, now we have both working yarns on the same side. So now we can flip the work like we would normally. So now we're going to be working the wrong side twice. Okay, so now we're on the wrong side. We're back to color A or 1, whichever one you want to call it. The brown, the barf brown. And we're going to be working the wrong side for the brown, which is the purl side. So grab up the brown, I am going to knit the first stitch, which is the selvage, slip one with yarn in front, yarn over, purl two together. So as you'll notice, this is what we just did with the green, because the second right side row is the purl side for the green. The first wrong side row is the purl side for the brown. Okay, so when we were working this in sequence, you'll notice you'll be doing knit, purl, purl, knit. So that 4 steps is actually a completion of one section. So in the sequence, you're going to work color A's right side, color B's wrong side, then color A's wrong side, then color B's right side. So it is knit, purl, purl, knit. Okay, so back to it. We're going to slip, yarn over, purl, over, purl, and to try to show a little more detail of that I am getting that yarn over in there. So I'm slipping with the yarn in front. I'm pinching the yarn here so that it stays there. I'm just flipping it so that it gets hooked, and then I'm purling two together. So I get my slipped stitch, a yarn over, and the purl two together, and you can see both colors there. Okay, so slip, yarn over, purl two together. Now don't forget when you're knitting English that you do need that yarn over. I'm not sure if there's a quick trick for English to get that yarn over in there. If there is, let me know. Slip, purl two together, slip with yarn in front, yarn over, purl two together, slip, yarn over, purl two together, and knit. Okay, so we've reached the end of row 3, and we have the working yarn here, the color A, and we need to work the wrong side with the color B. Okay, so I need to again slip all the stitches down to the other end because we're working the wrong side twice. Okay, so here is color B. And we need to knit one over the selvage. Then we're going to, you can see these are our 2 stitches, the slipped and the yarn over. So we're going to knit that. Unlike before, we're not moving the yarn. For this one at the end, it's just a regular knit 2 together. You don't need to move the yarn in front for that. Then we're back to normal with yarn in front, slip, knit 2 together, yarn in front, slip, oops, knit 2 together. And again, there is a yarn over in there, but I'm doing that where I'm pinching the yarn to not have to do it. So slip, pinch the yarn, knit 2 together, slip, pinch the yarn, knit 2 together. Okay, I'll try one in English. So the yarn in front, I'm going to slip, put my needle in. So this yarn is coming from the front, wrapping all through. We've got a yarn over, slip stitch, knit 2 together. Again, yarn in front, slip, put your yarn or your needle in to knit 2 together, wrap, yarn over, knit, slip stitch, knit 2 together, yarn in front, slip, knit 2 together. Okay, back to continental quick. Got this, yarn in front, slip, knit 2 together. See, we've got our yarn over, slip stitch, knit 2 together. At the end, we're gonna yarn in front, slip 1, and knit. We've now completed 1 section. So this is a full repeat of 2 color brioche flat and the ribbing pattern. So each repeat takes 4 rows. So now we've worked the right side, the right side, the wrong side, the wrong side. So now it is complete. So on the right side is will be this is kind of short, but will be the color A's knit rib row where it kind of pops out. And on the wrong side will be color B, or the greens, knit row. Okay, so I've worked a few more rows, and here's what we have. This is the right side with the color A, or the brown, as the knit bump, and the wrong side with color B, or the green, as the knit row. So a couple of things to help remember where you're at and what you're doing. So we're on the right side here, so it is helpful to remember which color is which for you, A or B, and that which one is supposed to be the knit column on the right side. So our brown is our color A, so on the right side it's going to be the knit column. So if we go across, so I'm starting over here, we're at the beginning of the 4-row sequence, and we can know that by the yarns are on the same side, and the brown, or color A, is here in the knit column. So that means we're on the right side, and we're on the first row of the 4-row repeat. Okay, so row 1, then we're going to work with color A again. So we're going to take color A, which is the brown. Okay, so in row 1, we're going to do this by reading the knitting so that we can figure out what we're doing from what we have here in front of us. So we're going to knit that first stitch because it's the selvage stitch. And then we have the slipped stitch with the yarn over. So we know from regular brioche that we're going to either knit that or purl that. Because it is the first row of the repeat and we're on the right side, we want to do the knit. Now we're not going to move the yarn on that very first brioche knit, so we just knit it, we don't move it, the yarn in front or anything. The way I think about it is, if I'm looking at the knitting, I want, because I'm on the right side, and this is color A, and I'm knitting with color A, I want to preserve the knit column in color A. So I want to be knitting that. So I'm going to slip anything else. So this is green, I don't want to preserve that on this side, so I'm going to slip it with yarn in front, go to knit. Slip with yarn in front, and knit. And again, we are going to be doing we're technically knitting the right side twice, and then knitting the wrong side twice. Okay, so this is the right side. We're on the front of the right side. So this is color A's right side. Okay, so we are across. So we've preserved that color A. Okay, now we're going to move all the stitches because we're going to work the right side again. And now you alternate colors every time. So we worked the brown, now we're over here with the working yarn, the green. Okay, so now we're going to work the right side again with the color B. So for color B, the right side is actually its wrong side. So we're going to be purling. So I'm going to knit the selvage stitch. And now I come to the brown knit ridge, and I want to preserve that because this is the right side and color A has the knit ridge, and I want to preserve it. So I'm going to slip with yarn in front, and then I come to the knit two, the purl two together, and the yarn over from the previous side, and I'm going to purl those two together. Again, I want to preserve that that brown as the knit ridge. So we're going to slip and then purl. Slip and then purl. And I'm getting that yarn over in there. I'm doing that little trick, but remember, it's actually slipping, doing a yarn over, and then purling. Slip, yarn over, purl. Slip, yarn over, purl. Okay. Now that we are at the end of this row, both the working yarns are on the same side, which means we are able to flip the work. All right, so we flipped the work. Now we're on the wrong side of the work. On the wrong side of the work, color B is the knit column that sticks out. So as we're doing this, we want to preserve that. Okay, we just knit with the green on the other side. So we want to knit with the brown, which is color A. Okay, so here, I'm going to knit the selvage. And then now we want to preserve that green, so we're going to slip. And this is, we're working the wrong side for the brown, or the wrong side for color A. So since this is the wrong side, we're going to purl. So slip. And that makes up that pattern we were talking about with its knit, purl, purl, knit. Get myself tangled here. Okay, and now we're going to work the wrong side once again. So we're slipping everything down to the end. And we have color B. And I'm going to knit for the selvage. And now this is the right side for this color. For color B, this is the right side. And if we think about that pattern again, it's knit, purl, purl, knit. So we've done the knit, purl, purl. So this is going to be knit. We don't move the yarn for that first brioche knit. And then slip, knit, slip, knit. And again, so I want to, on this side, I want to preserve the color B column of knits. So I'm going to slip this, and then because I'm working with color B, I want to knit two together so that I preserve that column of that color. That's kind of how I think about it. And my last tip for two-color brioche flat is if you ever get lost of where you are in the stitch repeat of the 4 rows, when you have both yarns on the same side, you're always going to work color A first. So here I'm actually in the middle of a repeat, but because I have both yarns on this side, I know that I'm going to start with the brown, and then because I'm working color A, I'm looking at my work, and the knit column is actually color B. So this is the wrong side for color A. So I am going to start with color A, and I'm going to be purling because it's color A's wrong side, and I want to preserve color B's knit column. and I'm going to slide, and I'm going to use the green. So when in doubt, when you have both yarns on the same side, you're going to use color A. And then when you can't figure it out, look at your work, look at what color A or B is in the knit column that's showing, and then you can decide whether you're on the right side or the wrong side. So this is the right side for color B, wrong side for color A. Okay? If you have any questions, let me know.